Hello everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Hi Aiden. Hi from Atlanta. Hey gorgeous, you're gorgeous. Yeah, it's Sunday and I'm having coffee. Have you got a coffee or a time appropriate beverage wherever you are in the world? I just thought I'd pop on, say how you doing. I haven't woke up. It's Sunday. I very much intended to get up and just like pop on it live at like 9 AM in the morning because apparently that's when my Instagram is the most traffic because I've been Googling and figuring out how to use insights. But that didn't happen because it's a Sunday. So here I am, and here you people are. Happy Sunday. Also, happy Father's Day. It's Father's Day here in New Zealand, so, you know, happy Father's Day. Thanks. This is my cozy jumper. Hi everyone. Hi Michael. Welcome to the chat. So, what is everyone doing on this Sunday? What is the plans? How do you like to spend your Sunday? Also enjoying a coffee tom. Good. The weekend so far has been very, very good. I watched a lot of The Handmaid's Tale last night. Had a weird dream that I was a teacher in some weird dystopian school teaching everyone how to make patterns for clothes. It was very strange. Still Saturday. Getting your COVID jab soon? Yes. Get vaccinated, everyone. Questioning my existence. I love that. Yes, it'll still be Saturday night in like America, I assume, right? I think I just looked at the world clock and it's like 7 something in New York, or maybe 8 o'clock in New York. Time zones are weird. Oh, someone's been baking pastries. I would love pastries. Feel free to drop them off to me during my walk. Your walk. Come see me. I'd love a pastry. Good morning, everyone. Oh, thank you, Danielle. I fucking love you too. I shouldn't swear. Can I swear on Instagram Live? I don't know. We're all adults here, aren't we? No, you're probably not. Children. Instagram. Terrible. How are you? I'm good. I'm good. I'm alright. I have nothing to complain about, put it that way. I've got nothing to complain about. I've just ordered a bunch of new, like, dresses and costumes and wigs and stuff. Like, spent a silly amount of money on new drag. So that's exciting for all of us, I guess, to see some new stuff. Also, you guys loved that picture I just posted. You all a bunch of thirsty, thirsty queens. I think that picture that I posted of me as James, naked in a fur coat, got more likes than, like, my RuPaul's Drag Race photos. Like, it's crazy. What else is happening? Is there any questions? I wanted to do this thing because when's the OnlyFans drop? There's no OnlyFans in the works, but I'll let you know. Your date to a high school reunion. I would love to go to a high school reunion, just for, I don't know. I imagine it'd be like the movies. But, I don't know. Will you see the watch party of House of Drag with Gina? Oh yeah, I'll watch that. That'd be funny. Because Trinity was in House of Drag Season 1, so she does Season 1. Lol, Rebecca, give the people what they want. Yes, I would do All Stars. Feel free to bombard World of Wonder with requests for me. No, I wanted to do. Okay, so I was talking about how, you know, how to do social media, because it's a weird thing, right? You I feel like there's loads of people watching here, and you all know me from House of Drag, from RuPaul's Drag Race, or House of Drag, or before, but it's like, it's scary doing lives, or chatting, or making content online, because you don't want to, like, burst the bubble of what people perceive of me, like, not burst a bubble, because, like, it's me, but you know what I mean, it's I sort of, you worry about, I don't know, will people still like me if they get to know me even better? But I've decided just to get over that, and talk to you guys more. Would you want to be a lip sync assassin on All-Star season? Yes, I would. That I would like to do. Like, I would like to just walk in and be like, do the splits. Will you have shows next month if we go into level 2? Yes, if we go into level 2 here in Auckland, we will definitely be back on like our drag bingo circuit, and we'll be circulating more. I'll pop out a solo show, you know, I'll whip something up, because we've got to get back into it. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through your questions here, guys. Favorite challenge from Drag Race? I liked the sewing, and because it was very much like level playing field, show us what you got, everyone make stuff right here in the room, which is very much the sort of drag I grew up with, was just grabbing what you had and making it work. I think when I have like super time to prepare and prep, I think I overthink and I almost add too much, whereas doing like a sewing challenge was like pressure cooker, and it was like great for me. Oh, hi Emma, I miss you too, love you lots. Emma's a friend of mine who we danced together in Turkey. She's Tinkerbell. Best thing about living with Trinity Ice, the constant mentorship and reassurance that I will never be as fabulous as her. We just go to World of Wonder HQ and scream Elektra. I would love that. Okay. Favourite winner of Drag Race? I'm pretty into Sonique winning at the moment. That's pretty fabulous in a number of ways. Any plans to perform in the US? I have plans to perform all over the world as soon as we can. But, you know, the world is a little bit unwell at the moment. Do I have a favourite international season? Holland, UK? I haven't watched Spain, and I think that's probably a big step on the wrist, because everyone said it's fabulous, but I do like the UK, just because I think it has some sort of like great banter that I think the old Drag Race used to have. I said the old Drag Race, like early seasons of American Drag Race, but yeah, UK Drag Race has like got its own fresh sort of punch on it. Favourite decade of music is, well, yours is mine. It's also very much the 80s. I love the 80s. I love jumping around through decades though as well, because I find bits that inspire a whole idea. Like, I quite often will go through my head and create like dance shows or create weird like cabaret shows, and it will all be inspired by one song, and then that song will normally like culminate through decades. I think it's very similar actually to how directors sort of do movies. They often will think of a movie idea and think of that, and they'll think of music. I know it's how Quentin Tarantino does, because I listened to a podcast of his the other day where he thinks of a movie idea, and then he goes and listens to music first. He goes and like finds a song that, oh, does that fit the movie? And then he'll find like this whole catalogue of music that sounds like his movie, and then he continues writing. That's sort of how I do my shows as well. Favourite remix from the Chromatica album? I haven't listened to the remix Chromatica album, but I've seen very mixed reactions online. Should I be listening to this? Should I not be listening to this? Where is this jumper from? This jumper is actually my boyfriend's jumper, and it's extra, extra large, because... And he's not extra, extra large. I think it's an jumper. I think it's my boyfriend's ex-boyfriend's jumper that I am now wearing. Do you still have the battery? Do you still have the battery-operated glue gun? I do not have the battery-operated glue gun, but I would love a battery-operated glue gun. Me and Trinity were just talking about getting a battery-operated glue gun yesterday. When we release a kangaroo and a fashion line, I do really want to make that jacket. So my original costume design, whatever that challenge was on Drag Race, instead of the tie dress, was this kangaroo hunter thing, because I was really like pissed off at all the Aussies and they were being mean, and I was like, fuck you. And it was going to be quite elaborate. It was going to be like a full patchwork like trench coat, and like it was, yeah, going to be quite brutal. But yeah, I should make that or even just like make the coat, because I think the coat was going to be quite fab. Thank you, that I love my tie gown. Thank you, Tom. Love that question. What's your opinion on penis? That's fabulous. Spain is... I've heard Spain is super amazing. The sweater is a vibe. Thank you. We love a morning sweater vibe. It's just... It's sunny. Like, it's quite a nice sunny, but it wasn't super, super warm yet. The sun is just starting to come out now. I do watch Dragula, but I haven't watched it in a couple of seasons. I need to catch up. But I love that there's, you know, some variety of drag TV shows. It doesn't have to all be Drag Race. Did you even get to meet RuPaul? I did get to meet RuPaul, but I only really met RuPaul on camera, do you know what I mean? And there was a little bit of interaction and banter, changing setups, but it's very much like in the moment, so how you see it on the show is very much how we meet RuPaul, which keeps it very sort of intense and intimidating. Trinity also auditioned for the first season Drag Race Down Under. She didn't audition for the first season Drag Race Down Under, but I'm sure if there's a season 2, she will be right up there. Being on RuPaul's Drag Race season 13, was that the super long one? That was like super long with Rose and that. I love Simone. Otherwise, that was just a really long season. Can you listen to Fun Tonight? Pablo Vittar remix, because it's from Brazil. Why not? Sure. I'll listen to it after this. I love seeing you. I love seeing you. Can't go around too much. That'll be crack up. Thank you, Travi. I adore you. It's very sweet. Amanda, but wait, what's your opinion on penis? I mean, penis has caused a lot of problems in the world, so I think all the penises should just sit down for a bit. Let's see what else we got in here. Was there a challenge from another season Drag Race that you would have liked to do? I'm just trying to think now, because there's been so many crazy... Can I throw that question back at you guys? What challenge from Drag Race that I haven't already done would you like to see me do? Because, I don't know, I'd like to think that... Here's what I felt with when I left Drag Race and when I watched it back. I have so much to work on with my drag, as we all do. But in terms of the challenges that we got thrown, I think I did okay. Like, I felt like I brought lots of energy to the challenges, and I was like, yeah, I did my all in all the challenges. It was the runways and my visual and my package that wasn't complete. But yeah, what would you like to see me do on Drag Race as a challenge? Because I am a ballroom dancing challenge on season 7. I would love to do the ballroom dancing challenge. I would have loved to do the choreographed dance challenge. It's actually what I would have loved to do, because like dance element, like or musical, yeah. Scripted singing would have been nice. A roast would have been interesting for me, because it's really hard. Like even like Snatch Game is way different and scary because there's silence in the room, if that makes sense. Like you're all sitting there and you're chatting and talking, and it's just sort of like you don't have the audience laughing, and there's pauses in between everything, and no one's really sure what they're meant to be doing and that sort of stuff. So it's like, did you accept the International All-Stars call? I am waiting for my International All-Stars call. So do they have my number? Someone give them my number, or send them my Instagram. So Asu's back in the chat. Love you. Good to see you. Who else? What do we got here? Elektra, I noticed the Snatch Game set on the Drag Race Down Under was on the main stage. Yes, it was. So the way they made the show in New Zealand was very clever, really. They utilised as little space as possible, because the show was done super fast here. Due to, like, you know, RuPaul's availability, there was COVID happening in the world. It was amazing that we actually even got to get it done. So they utilised 2 studios. One was the workroom and one was the main stage, and that main stage was able to sort of transform into lots of different things that they needed for Drag Race. Very cleverly done. Any plans on doing a UK tour? Yes, take me to the UK. It's also sort of like, I mean, how many people are in the UK in the chat? Like, where should I be going in the UK? Should I just be going to London and doing one big show, or should I be, like, travelling up? I would love to travel around. I'm not close with any American queens. I know a few American queens watched the show and sort of reached out and sent lovely messages, which was very sweet. But no, not close. close. I imagine that sort of would come with touring though, like if I was to go on travel and I'd meet the queens in person and make, you know, a strong connection with them there, that would probably be how I'd get to know those girls a bit better. There are loads of people from the UK. Yeah, okay, we're definitely going. Cardiff, yeah, I think... Oh, I have to go north. I'm not just gonna... yeah, okay, you're right. If I go to England, I can't just do London. 100% have to go north. And to Ireland as well. I would go all over. Take me everywhere. Oh, look, we got some questions in the sidebar thing. How do you deal with lockdown boredom? By going live on Instagram and chatting to people. If you're called All Stars Season 1 pairs format, who would you like to be partnered with? Oh, okay. So if I had to pair... Oh... Who would I be partnered? Like from anything? From anyone and anything? I would love to go like in with... Oh, shit. I would hate that. I understand why the girls who did the season were like, oh no, because that would be horrible for me. I don't think I would want to be partnered with anyone. Someone completely opposite to me, definitely. I wouldn't want to go with, like, you wouldn't want to go with someone who was sort of your competition or comparable to you. You wouldn't want to go with another dancey sort of queen. You'd want to be like with a comedy queen or someone that had just a different aesthetic, so you could sort of bounce off each other. What else we got? What else we got in here? Sorry, I just missed so much chat. Do you talk to Scarlett Adams? Not really, no. Not really, not at all, no. If you ever come to London, you'll buy tickets, thank you. How are all of your drag house family? I believe they're fine. Mother checks up on them more than I do. But the kids, actually, I've been quite impressed with here in New Zealand, actually. All the kids have been keeping very, very busy with, like, not just the kids in our family, but the drag community in general, being very, very busy with the online lives and, you know, continuing to create content and keep themselves busy and keeping their drag active. It's really quite admirable. It sort of shows that, you know, Kiwis just keep going. Is it true? What are your plans for today? Oh, no, it's Sunday. I think I might do some sewing today. Question. I have a question for you. Because I've been wondering, like, what do I post? Especially when we're in lockdown, we're not doing heaps and heaps of drag. Like, I've been gotten to a drag a couple of times. But I've been doing lots of sewing. Do we want to see me sewing? Sewing? Do we want to see me doing some sewing? Or boring, not interested, you're not a sewing channel, like, hashtag no. I'm just gonna scroll down through the chat. Camp. I love that people like, because I said I don't talk to Scarlett, and so someone's like, at Scarlett Adams drag queen. I think people think there's more drama than there is. What do you think of Eureka? I like Eureka. I enjoyed Eureka, actually. When she won the thing against Silky and she came back, I thought, ooh, okay. Because I did like Eureka, but I hadn't seen a lot of heart in her that made me sort of love her until she was eliminated and brought back in that sort of battle sense, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm feeling you. Who do I think from House of Drag would do amazing on Drag Race? I think Trinity would do very well. I think Flawed would do very well. I think Siobhan Borealis would do very well. There are probably more. I think Gina would bring drama. Medulla Oblongata would be really, really funny on Drag Race, I think, as well. And I think Medulla's another one, like Trinity, who would, like, not take any shit and talk back and be very vocal, which I think makes a good watching. And there's a club called Heaven that does a strip night hosted usually by Rugo, and you get to judge a few strip teasers. Can I do a strip tease too? Okay, whoever, Heaven in London, someone contact someone to tell someone to message me on Instagram to get me to London to host whatever this night is, because I will do, like, my strip tease, and maybe I could do, like, I host it in drag, and then, like, I do a strip tease as Elektra, and then she disappears backstage, and she takes all her makeup off, and then James does, like, a strip tease thing. That could be fun. Are we going to get some music? Don't hold your breath, but it is something that I'm working on. and if that makes sense. So like, it is like, music is in my mind. It's this little side thing that I'm just like slowly chipping away at, but I'm not in a rush to put out music. I'm not like trying to drop a single, like, but yeah, there'll be music. Do some sewing tutorials. Sure, okay, cool. People would be keen. People would be keen. Let me just scroll down through the chat. Amanda wants to see less sewing and more pain. I don't have a PO box for gifts. Do you think I should get a PO box for gifts? I just sort of don't want to feel like Todrick Hall walking around his house, you know, with like a mailing list as he shows you around his $1 million mansion, being like, "Hey, buy me wine." I have a fear of that. And I do like my new mattress. If you're visiting New Zealand, definitely come to Auckland if you want to see a lot of good drag. Wellington also has drag. But places to be, Wellington, Auckland, but then travel. Do you know what I mean? New Zealand is a really easy place to travel around, so just pick a base spot and get a van. If I could do any season of Drag Race, what season would you do? I don't know what you mean by that. I would just do a season of Drag Race. I would probably do an All-Stars, right? You know, I'd do an All-Stars. I wouldn't mind competing in America. I wouldn't mind also going over and competing in the UK one. If I could do a tour with any of the Rue girls, I definitely would love to do this big Pussycat Dolls dance show thing. I need to do, like, me and Alyssa and Brooklyn, or like a Pussycat Dolls drag show. Oh, there's things in the air. Oh, Emily, I'm so glad I've inspired you to do drag. Keep it up. Send pictures. If you draw, or back to the sewing question, if you draw those. Sometimes I have a little book where I draw out a bunch of drag looks. But, you know, I work pretty organically. Well, thank you. I'm glad I made Auckland proud. Yes to PO Box. Okay, I'll get a PO Box as soon as we're out of lockdown. It wouldn't be a bad thing to do as well, because we do get mail. I'd love you to try TikTok. Yes. Okay. I do know how to do YouTube, and I've taught myself how to do a TikTok the other day, so I should do TikTok. But what sort of TikToks do I do? Like, is it like, you know, do I have to do the... Or can I do funny ones? Or I can do whatever I want, eh? You aren't the boss of me. Maybe you are. But yeah, okay. I'm gonna try and do TikToks. Hi from Invercargill. Hi Invercargill. I will be visiting you very, very soon. Okay, I'm just gonna skip down through some of these. Oh my god, I've realised that if I don't scroll to the bottom, the chat don't move. Oh, someone asked in the chat, how did we lip sync on the show? Like, did we lip sync the full track or that sort of thing? You lip sync. The lip sync is like the most competition intense part of the show. So we're given a track to learn, a little bit of time before we do it. Reasonable amount of time, but still, you know, stressful amount of time. And yeah, it's not the full track. I think it was sort of cut down to about maybe 2.5, 3 minutes. So it was not full, but not, you know, not short. And you can do it once in front of RuPaul. That's it. There's a wee pause where they remove your microphone, so you don't, you know, attack yourself with it. But that's it. You do it. You do the lip sync and you perform, and RuPaul watches and the judges watch, and then he goes, "That's it," and he makes his decision. Yeah, it's very, very scary. Do funny TikToks. Okay. Whatever the vibe says, it's right. Are you coming to Christchurch soon? Next year, I think, will probably be a big South Island time. Dance tutorials, that could be a vibe, right? Like, dance and heels tutorials on YouTube. That could be a that could totally be a fun thing. Okay. Ooh. Hi from New Mexico. Hello, New Mexico. I've now just scrolled to the bottom of our chat, so we're current now. I'm not reading old questions, and now no one's talking, which is fabulous. Electrical plushie. There is going to be an electroshock plushie that is coming. I won't tell you what look the plushie is yet, but it's one of my favorites. So I hope you'll like it. Do you know Michael Domeski? I knew Michael Domeski years and years and years ago, but I know of him. Like I don't personally know him, but I have met him years and years and years ago. Fabulous dancer, like fabulous. What shoe size am I? I am a 13. I think I'm like a US 13 in heels, or a 11 when I buy my like boy sneakers, Chuck Taylors. What was the casting process like to you? Intense. Very, auditions and psych tests and evaluations, and you're in the running. It was all very sort of how you hear it being. It's lots of phone calls. Where do you get your black thigh-high boots from? I get them from like pleasershoes.com. Like, you can just buy shoes and they're reasonably priced, and you're getting a good quality shoe if they're from Pleaser, because they're used by a lot of like pole performers and that sort of thing, so they're strong and sturdy. But also I just ordered a whole bunch of shoes off AliExpress, and different buyers, and looked through the reviews and looked through the things, and they'll be coming, they'll be like a month delivery, but they're gonna work, and then I can afford to get lots of different looks. Do you know what I mean? I don't just have to have the one. Normally I don't buy plushies, but I'm definitely going to buy an Electra one, thank you. Colorado. How am I finding lockdown? I'm over it, quietly, but it's for the best, but I do definitely want to... I get bored, and I want to do stuff. How are you in the bottom for the Go Group Challenge? I know, right? How did that happen? I don't understand. Was COVID already active when you were preparing for the show, or was it easier to prepare than Queens, who did struggle with design and swings fabric? COVID was very much a happening thing, wasn't it? I lose sort of track of time and dates, but yeah, COVID was definitely an element. I know it really messed up postage, so and just time in general, so everything was just so rushed because of it. There was no time to mess about, so yeah, people were very stressed. I know that I didn't order a lot of stuff online. I didn't have the means to order and buy a lot of stuff in, so a lot of my stuff I was making. New Zealand's a great place to live. It really is. I love it. I came back when I was 21, because I was working overseas. I meant to come back for just a break, come home for a break, but I haven't left since. Would you participate in All Stars? Yes, I would participate in All Stars Down Under, 100%. How has Drag Race changed my life? Well, I have a lot more people who want to talk to me and be my friend, and supporting me and supporting what I do. So yeah, it's been fabulous. Boyfriend's in the chat asking what is for breakfast. I don't know, Michael. What are you making for breakfast? Thoughts on the new lane tech yesterday? Oh, that was that's scary. It's sort of come on guys, the world's, aren't we dealing with enough right now? Did California and Clairvoyant audition for Drag Race Down Under? I'm not sure if they did. I don't know who auditioned or who else was in the sort of running. I know there was a big pool of queens that were probably in the shortlist or whatever it was, but yeah. How has Drag Race... what is he asking? How has Drag Race when there's breakfast? Anyway. How many eggs? I don't. Yes, I'm in a relationship. I've got a boyfriend. We live together, and he's asking me what's for breakfast. How much did you spend on your costumes and stuff in Drag Race, and was it worth it? It was definitely worth it, but we basically were working... I was working with a budget of I think we had 4 weeks where I saved $500 a week, That was what I spent. So, $2,000, but a lot of that was spent on like material and stuff that I sort of sewed a lot of my own costumes, and I think I may have bought like a couple pairs of heels, and yeah, it was just sort of, I very much built out of stuff I already had and stuff I could, accumulate in time. Did I know that Anita and Kita were going to be on the show? No one was for sure, like no one knew for sure who was going to be on the show. But in terms of the pool of like people here, they're big figureheads. So it was sort of like, surely there was the room was three were going to be on the show. It was like, surely it's them, and I don't think anyone was really sure who the third girl was. But it turned out to be me. My outfits were amazing. Thank you. You're a beautiful liar. What's new, Elektra? Nothing. Nothing's new. Oh, Trinity's awake. I don't think she'll come and say hi. Did something happen between you and Aunt Simone after episode 7? No? I don't think so. No, nothing. I haven't really heard from her much, but that's a lie. Like, I've replied to a couple of her stories. She's replied back, said haha or something like that. But yeah, I don't chat with a lot of people. If I was going to make breakfast for my boyfriend, what would I be making? Well, this week my boyfriend for breakfast has had like scrambled eggs on toast with avocado and sausages. He's had peanut butter on toast with sliced bananas that I made for him. He had like fried eggs and bacon and stuff the other day. Yeah, so there's been some beautiful breakfast this week. They need to invite Anita back for season 2 of Down Under after letting her go so early. Yeah, but that dress she made was really ugly. Sorry. Did you borrow some stuff with each other during the competition? Yes. So the wig I wore in my runway with the tie dress actually was Karen's wig. So Karen was like, would you like to wear this wig? And I was like, 100% I would like to wear this wig. Thank you. I lots of people like my eyebrows, which is a weird thing to say, but yeah, I've always been told I have nice eyebrows. Thank you. Let's get some more support for breakfast in the chat for Michael. Michael can get out of bed and make his own breakfast today. I love after posting that picture of me in the fur coat, someone commented on that as well, like, oh, he was a model before the accident. That's sort of where the joke comes from, like, drag was the accident. I have no more Ben & Jerry's topped in my freezer, but I am gonna be teaming up with those guys again, hopefully. So hopefully I'll be able to grab some more and stock up. Yeah, Michael did work very long hours this week. Michael worked, dang, wake and bake. No, there's not a wake and bake. It's Sunday and I've had a coffee. Michael worked extremely long hours this week, so respect for Michael in the chat. Do I see La Mas Draga? No, I haven't seen that, but please inform me. Drag Race Spain, I haven't seen it yet, but I reckon I need to catch up. Do I have any pets? No, I don't. I want a dog. Please, can I have a dog? I want a big dog. Oh, we got a question in the question tab. Yeah, I am keen to travel to Wellington for a show. I think that'll be lots of fun, and I know a few people down there, so yeah, Wellington, we're keen. Let's hook it up. How did you learn how to dance? I have danced since I was 5 years old. I think I went originally to like a tap class, and our neighbour's son was going to learn to dance, and I went along with them, and they didn't like it, but I loved it, and I never left, or something like that, and then I just started picking up styles as I grew up. favourite movie. I have so many favourite movies. Billy Elliot. There's one that pops into my mind actually at the moment. Devil Wears Prada. Husky or something quieter. It's definitely something quieter than a husky and probably less fluffy. I really want a boxer. I would love a boxer dog. Post stories of you making and delivering breakfast. No breakfast stories. There's going to be no breakfast content. Breakfast content is cancelled. Favourite song to perform? Wouldn't be opposed to anything Britney or Pussycat Dolls. Why didn't they show Untucked on the episode you won? I don't know why they didn't show Untucked on the episode they won. Probably too much content to get through. Will you do World of Dance or All Stars? I would do either of those. I also would be very keen to do, like, So You Think You Can Dance New Zealand. Justice for Michael's breakfast.